It's a new season of the D-Pad, Season 6. This episode will take a look at Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. It will start off with my review of the game. I'll then state my memories playing Pac-Man 2 The New Adventures on the Super Nintendo. The show will then end off in a Brad vs. Jordan battle to see who get the highest score in Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. All this coming up right here on the D-Pad. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the D-Pad. I'm your host Brad Davis, and you're watching a show that's all about video games. First, let me apologize. I did say that the show will be coming back sooner, but Jordan had to work some things out with his schedule, and now everything's straightened out and he's doing well. So we're finally back with Season 6 of the D-Pad. I didn't want to do the show without him, so I'm really pumped for Season 6, and this looks like it's going to be a really great year for console gaming. You have Nintendo with the Switch, Sony PS4 Pro, and Microsoft is also releasing the Scorpio later on this year. So hopefully you'll be able to watch every episode this season as I take a look at everything that's going on in the very exciting world of console gaming. This first episode of Season 6 will be focused on Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. Now, I love Pac-Man Championship Edition on the Xbox 360, and I played it for many hours. I was very addicted to it, which was pretty surprising to me at the time due to me not being a really huge classic Pac-Man fan. But that game really brought the Pac-Man gameplay into the 21st century, and I really enjoyed the game very much. So when I heard that there will be a sequel on the Xbox One and PS4, I was very excited. But how's the game? Do I feel that it's good, or do I feel that it's disappointing? We will find out in this review that's coming up right now. I absolutely loved Pac-Man Championship Edition and played it for many hours on my Xbox 360. I was really hoping that Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 would bring the fun, addictive gameplay of its predecessor over to the new consoles. Pac-Man CE2 is definitely a fun game, however, the changes and new additions hurt the game. Pac-Man CE2 features an adventure mode in which you can go through stages, clearing objectives, and collecting stars. The mode features boss battles as well. I found this mode to be messy. Some stages were enjoyable to play and get through. Others, such as the boss battles, were messy and broke away too much from smooth gameplay. The changes in camera angles do not help either. I found the camera angle changes when eating ghosts distracting and unnecessary. Speaking of unnecessary, one big change in Pac-Man CE2 is that you can bounce off of ghosts until they get angry and turn into the classic ghosts that devour you when you hit them. While I'm not 100% sure, this change in Pac-Man's classic gameplay feels like a cheap, generic band-aid to cover up and balance the new additions and changes being too much for the game to handle. Pac-Man CE2's music is great, and I love the various styles you can choose from in the game. I feel that customization should be in more games, especially games with a more pick-up-and-play nature, and Pac-Man CE2 does this very well. I wish Pac-Man CE2 did other features just as well, but unfortunately this is not the case. Pac-Man CE2 reminds me a lot of Geometry Wars 3. Both games had very fun and addictive predecessors, and both games added many unnecessary changes such as boss battles, seemingly just for the sake of adding new features. I usually complain a bit when a sequel is a straight up rehash with updated graphics, but I honestly would have preferred that for Pac-Man CE2. Pac-Man CE2 isn't a bad game at all, it's just that it's not as fun to play as its predecessor. The changes make me scratch my head and or simply state why, since many of the game's changes really add nothing to the game. If you have an Xbox One and never played any of the Pac-Man CE games, then I would recommend getting the backwards compatible Pac-Man Championship Edition over Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. Alright, well the year was 1997 and the PS1 and the N64 were out, but I was still on the Super Nintendo. And at the time there was a sale on Super Nintendo games since the system was old and it was about to be phased out. So my dad told me that I could get some Super Nintendo games from this bin that was at this store. It wasn't Toys R Us, it was some, I believe it was KB Toys at a mall. But anyway, inside the bin was Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. And when I looked at the box of this game, I thought, you know, I thought that it wasn't a typical Pac-Man game, but I also thought that it would be a platforming game. And I bought it, put it in my Super Nintendo when I got home, and started to play it. And I realized that the game wasn't like anything that I expected. The game is pretty much a click and point adventure game, but you use a slingshot, and it was just really boring to play, in my opinion. And it was still boring to play now when I tried it out again. I haven't played the game in years, but I tried it out and it's still boring to play, in my opinion. I remember just being very confused with what to do. I remember seeing all the characters in the Pac-Man family. I don't know if that was due to the 90s being a time in which there was a lot of family sitcoms or what, but I just thought it was really ridiculous, even back then when I was a little kid, to see it. I was like, you know, I just care about Pac-Man, I don't care about his whole family, so let's just move on with the game. And then when I actually played the game, I realized that, oh, I can't even really move Pac-Man. I have to use a slingshot to direct him in terms of which way to go, and it was just really frustrating to play. It wasn't fun, and due to all of that, I basically just played the classic Pac-Man that's inside the game. You can go to an arcade in the game and play the old school Pac-Man, and that's pretty much what I did whenever I played this game. You know, I tried to move on to the other levels, and I just couldn't do it due to me just finding the game frustrating, and also just due to me finding the game boring to play. So basically, whenever I played the game, you know, after the first few times or few attempts I tried to get far ahead in the game, I would just pop in the game and play the classic Pac-Man. So Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, definitely wasn't what I expected it to be. I expected it to be a Pac-Man platformer, but the game was just a boring adventure game, and I was pretty disappointed by it. Alright, hello everybody. This is my brother Jordan, and we're going to play some Pac-Man here, Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. And what we're going to do is just see who can get the highest score. Now, it's the first Brad vs. Jordan battle of the season, and due to the previous season being pretty short, what we're going to do is just transfer those points over onto this season, okay, and use that as the base. Alright, so whoever gets the most points will get some more points added on to their score via the score bag right here, right? So, ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, here we go. Alright. Man, I lost too many lives and I panicked there. Didn't play safe. Alright, so that's my score that you have to beat. 1,860,599. Alright, let's see how Jordan does. There you go. Doing good. I think you might get this. Needs only about 300,000 more now. $100,000. I think you're set. Yep, I think you got it. Yeah, you got it. All right, good job. Alright, well, my brother won that one. I died pretty early, and then after that, just focused on staying alive instead of getting points. While he managed to stay alive early on, and therefore he was able to chain up those points and beat me. Alright, so therefore he gets to get some points out of the score bag right here. And here's a breakdown of the score bag. Alright, so go ahead, look up what you pick. Sure to only pick one?
Yeah.
Got one? Alright, 1 point. Let's add 1 point onto Jordan's score. Alright, And that ends another episode of the D-Pad, the 6th season premiere of the D-Pad. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed all the changes that we made. And as I said before, season 5 was pretty short, but we're gonna hopefully do season 6 right. There's a lot of episodes planned for this season. Definitely plan on doing an episode of, well, I should say for the Nintendo Switch. And if everything works out, that should be coming shortly after the system launches. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that too. So keep watching this season, hopefully, and we'll be here, Brad Davis, Jordan Davis, and we'll see you next time. All right, goodbye, everybody.
And I pull